say
yo 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 yo.
Jess Hilarious.
Good morning.
Charlamagne to be here in a second, and it's Thursday.
Hey.
How you feeling, Jess?
I'm good. I'm feeling good on this Friday Eve.
Friday Eve.
Yeah, show. Listen, so you know I'm in Raleigh this weekend, right?
Yep.
Yo, and I'm like, I don't know why my agents book me during Dreamville Fest, and it's the final one. Mm-hmm. So tickets been moving a little slow, and I'm a little scared because I'm not I ain't no little slouch when it comes to selling out shows.
Right.
That's all I had to say. There's no ending. I'm just like, yo.
So if you're out there, go definitely get your tickets to see Jess. She's performing Friday and Saturday?
Friday and Saturday.
Friday and Saturday in Raleigh. Now, how far is Raleigh from Charlotte? That's the Charlotte.
5 hours.
Oh, wow. You know that.
Exactly.
You played that 5 hours.
5 hours.
All right. So
but Dreamville Fest is in Raleigh, right?
It's in Raleigh, yes.
Right. Damn, I wish it was in Charlotte.
No. I think it is in Charlotte.
No, it's in Raleigh.
It is in Raleigh. You checked it?
I don't know. I think he said it. You got to clarify. You got to clarify for me because they gonna shut it down because this the last one.
Yes, it's the last one.
It's the final one. So everybody who didn't get to see it before, all them Raleigh natives, they gonna come out. And even though they treat me good when I come to the city because I'm going to be at the Improv Friday and Saturday, I'm like, so now I got to fly in tonight to do press there tomorrow to sell out the shows or whatever. But look, this is the crazy thing. When I called the radio down there to go, because, we broadcast out of Raleigh too. Yep. It's like, I said, yeah, then y'all can get free tickets too. They was like, yeah, we going to Dreamville, but we going to see if I was like, damn, even y'all going to Dreamville.
And the crazy thing about it is it's an all-day thing.
Yes.
So once I'm there all day, now I got to go home and change and then come out.
And get ready for a damn show. Like, come on. But it's good. They're selling. They just ain't selling out.
Yeah, well, definitely go support. Make sure you head out. And also, I got to salute to everybody that's been pre-ordering Real Life, Real Family. Hey. The book actually comes out on the week we're on vacation. So just like you guys, they put the book out on Easter week.
And we're not even here.
No, we're not even here. All the TV networks are on vacation.
Damn.
Yeah, so it's similar to you. But it is what it is. But we appreciate everybody out there for picking up, pre-ordering Real Life, Real Family. Yeah. It's all about raising kids. We got 6 kids, and the oldest 23, and we talk about everything from ADD, ADHD, the sex talk with your kids, potty training. So it's a gamut of a whole bunch of different things. So if you're thinking about having children, it's from 2 different sides. Gia's side and how she raises the kids, and then my side.
I was just going to ask you that. So she co-wrote it with you?
Yeah, we wrote it together.
Hey, okay.
We wrote it together.
Did y'all beef during it? Like, no, I want to write it like this, or I want to, you know how wives get.
Nah, you know what it was? Is, I always tell people my dad is a retired police officer. He's ex-military, so he's very discipline. It's his way or the highway. There was no questions.
Okay.
And Gia allows questions.
Gotcha.
So, no, you can't go. Well, why can't I go? And she explains and breaks it down.
Got it.
Me, I'm like, nah, you can't go. Why? Because I said so.
I got it.
And Gia be like, you should explain why you
right.
Nah, because I said so. I ain't got time.
No.
But it makes a great dynamic. All right. Well, Elie Mystal will be joining us this morning. He's the author of Bad Law, 10 Popular Laws That Are Ruining America. And we'll talk to him in a little bit. And then we got front page news. President Trump, a.k.a. Mr. Tariffs, he's been dropping tariffs left and right. We'll talk to him next. We'll talk to Morgan about this next. So don't go anywhere. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. All right, now let's get in some front page news. Now, congratulations to Carmelo Anthony has been elected to the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Easy call. First ballot Hall of Famer.
Absolutely,
Easy call, man. Easy call.
Now, the full class of 2025 will be announced on Saturday at the men's Final Four in San Antonio. So, salute again to Melo.
Easy call. There was never any doubt.
Not at all.
That's the first ballot Hall of Fame, okay?
What up, Morgan?
What up, what up, what up? And hey, Baltimore. Shout out Carmelo Anthony.
What's up, girl?
Yeah. All right, so let's get into the front page news. So, it's Tariff Thursday. It's tariff every day, right? So, President Trump has signed new U.S. global tariffs, keeping in line with his campaign promise to saying that tariffs will end decades of unfair trade policies. So, he spoke more on the order yesterday at the White House. Let's jump right into the audio and take a listen to President Trump.
Today, we're standing up for the American worker, and we are finally putting America first. My answer is very simple. If they complain, if you want your tariff rate to be 0, then you build your product right here in America, because there is no tariff if you build your plant, your product in America.
So Trump blamed past leaders for trade policies that he said were imbalanced, adding that tariffs stand to benefit Americans, as you heard in that audio. Companies can also avoid paying tariffs if they make their products in the U.S. Trump spoke more on this whole tariffs thing. Let's hear more from President Trump.
April 2nd, 2025 will forever be remembered as the day American industry was reborn, the day America's destiny was reclaimed, and the day that we began to make America wealthy again. Our country and its taxpayers have been ripped off for more than 50 years, but it is not going to happen anymore. It's not going to happen.
So tariffs cover a wide range of products that are targeting several countries, including Canada, Mexico, China, and the European Union. Now, Trump called the reciprocal tariffs the day, April 2nd, yesterday, Liberation Day for the U.S. after trading partners have, quote, looted, pillaged, and raped American industries for decades, leading to a loss of U.S. jobs and manufacturing. All countries will have an immediate 10% baseline tariff on imported goods, and many are getting hit with larger tariffs on top of that. Now, critics claim the reciprocal tariffs are unfair and could lead to hyperinflation. You guys have any thoughts?
Yeah, the thing about the tariffs I don't understand is what is the end game here? Like, I hear him say it will end unfair trade policies, but, it just feels like, they put taxes on us, so now we're going to put taxes on them. And I guess he's trying to get people to bring manufacturing back to the U.S., but
yes.
Doesn't it just cost more to build here?
Yes.
Will they make it cheaper to manufacture here? Like, what's the benefit of building, in America? Just zero tariffs?
Well, employees are cheaper in other places too, but that's a good question. He was talking about, other people charging us tariffs as well, so he wants them to, knock off their tariffs, which will knock off our tariffs. I guess that's what he's saying, but I thought he was against free trade, and I thought he wanted more people to build here. But like you said, how can they build here if it's more expensive, to build here?
One of the things that is striking me is the auto tariffs and how that stands to impact a lot of Americans, because it's not like we make all the auto parts here in America. So we stand to still, even if you buy an American car, the price of that is still going to go up because some of the steel, some of the materials are not made in America. So it's just like,
yeah, it still affects us. It still affects, and they're saying car prices will have to raise between $3,000 and $10,000. What it will do is it'll make used cars a premium. You know what I mean? Because you won't have that extra $10,000 on your used vehicle.
Absolutely.
And I just don't understand how, you're saying you're going to make it easier for the American workers, but you're doing things that are going to immediately hurt those American workers financially.
Yes.
Like, this has immediate impact on the economy.
Yes, it does. In fact, there is a bipartisan effort to block the tariffs against Canada. Kentucky's Republican Senator Rand Paul is actually working with Democrat Senator out of Virginia, Tim Kaine, who proposed a bill that would essentially end the emergency declaration put forth by the Trump administration to impose tariffs on Canada. Now, the Senate voted 51-48 in favor of the resolution that would block President Trump's tariffs on Canadian products. Yesterday, well, actually, we don't have time to get into the audio, but I will say that there are 4 other Republicans that support this Democratic-led measure: Susan Collins of Maine, Rand Paul, and Mitch McConnell of Kentucky, Lisa Murkowski of Alaska. So the resolution authored by Virginia Democrat Tim Kaine is expected to stall in the House. However, the vote signaled bipartisan opposition on the sweeping levy. So this is bigger than just whatever party you voted for. This is an American issue.
Absolutely. But see, that's the whole thing. That's why we have all of these conversations about party, and everybody goes back and forth at each other because you're a Democrat or you're a Republican. But once that person is in the White House, at the end of the day, we're just all Americans who are impacted by the decisions of what that president does. Like, so you can scream Democrat, Republican all you want. At the end of the day, that is your president. We are Americans, and we're impacted by his decisions.
And that's essentially what the senators were saying, that, hey, look, if we could agree that we don't like this, then we can go ahead and put forth some measures to combat it. And this is something that those senators seem to agree on.
Because all we care. I'm sorry, Morgan. All we care about as American people is keeping some money in our pocket and being safe. I don't care what your race is, your religion is, your sexuality is, your gender is. Those are the 2 things that you care about the most: having some money in your pocket and being safe. That's it.
Hurry it, clock it. All right, so that's your front page news for 6 a.m. I'll talk to you guys at 7, and we will get into what's going on with Elon Musk.
All right, everybody else, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. Phone lines are wide open. Again, 1-800-585-1051. Get it off your chest. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. I'm dialing. Hey, what you doing, man? I'm dialing. I'm calling you.
This is your time to get it off your chest, whether you're mad or blessed. 800-585-1051. We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
Yeah, this is Jay.
Jay, what up? Get it off your chest, bro.
All right, I'm calling from the 843.
Hey, what part of the 843? What part of the low country you calling from?
Myrtle Beach.
Okay.
Charlamagne.
Salute to Myrtle Beach, man. Y'all recovered from them fires yet?
Yeah. Slowly but surely, by the grace of God.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, speaking about these terrorists, man, I didn't vote, so I kind of feel like I ain't really got no say-so in the matter.
Mm-hmm.
Plus the fact that we're going to be getting taxed, when we dead and gone, man. I done came to the conclusion to realize it is what it is. I'm going to keep pushing, man. I'm in the process of getting me a car, and I know that's going to affect me in terms of the way these tariffs going. But I'd rather ride than to walk, so I'm going to get me a car anyway.
Why didn't you vote, brother?
I just want to, because, Charlamagne, they're going to do what they want to do anyway. And I kind of feel like my vote don't matter, because they're going to do what they want to do anyway.
Well, your vote does matter.
Yeah, I get it.
And, and if you're looking for a car, I mean, March was the best time to do it, but it is April now. I would do your homework, and I would pit car companies against each other, pit dealerships against each other. Hey, this dealership's giving them to me for 25. Can you give it to me for 23? Go back and forth. You have to use your negotiation game, because them car dealerships ain't as packed as they were.
Yeah. Hey, on a better ending note, Charlamagne.
Yes, sir.
Hey, what you think about a Myrtle Beach R&B music fest opening up with Mary J. Blige and closing with Usher?
Well,
that sounds expensive.
Yeah, I mean, I think R&B fest will work. I think anything that can bring out grown folks will work. Remember when Tank was up here and Tank was talking about doing the R&B Money Awards? I think anything like that will work, honestly.
Yeah, it'll work, right? I was telling my coworkers I was gonna run it past y'all if I was able to get through.
I've been going to stuff like that all my life. One of my favorite festivals ever was the Sugar Water Festival with Erykah Badu, Jill Scott, Flo Tree, and Queen Latifah. Lord have mercy, that was a show. You hear me?
A lot of cocoa butter.
Shea butter, man.
Shea.
All right, hey, I appreciate y'all, man.
All right,
have a good one, brother. Be safe out there. Good luck.
All right.
Hello, who's this?
This is Courtney.
Hey, Courtney. Good morning. Get it off your chest.
Good morning. I want to get off my chest, man. We got to stop being so empathetic to these folks that be calling on this radio, and for people that be doing stuff online. Charlamagne just gave that man donkey of the other day for leaving his kids at the McDonald's. Come to find out, he wasn't even at no interview.
Where he was at?
Man, where he was at, yo?
The police found holes all in his story. The daughter said he left to go drop off a backpack. Video surveillance got him walking back and forth between the apartment complex they live at and the McDonald's. They done called a bank where he was supposed to have an interview at. This man didn't even have no interview.
This man was...
I didn't see none of that.
Serving chickens.
I did hear that too. But
it's on the shade room.
I seen somebody else say something differently, that they actually spoke to the girlfriend or the mother, baby mother, and they said that he was at an interview. So I seen conflicting reports. So I don't know what's true and what's not true.
The bank manager did say that he filled out an application on the 22nd, and that they had kind of like an informal conversation for like 15, 20 minutes. But I don't know if this was the same day or whatever, but to leave those kids for that long, he was not at an interview. And the kids say this ain't the first time he done left them.
Yeah, I said that yesterday. I was just like, what job interview takes almost 2 hours, and what job interview allows you to go back and forth? Because the witnesses said that they saw him coming back and forth too.
Right.
Man, these folks be playing in our face every day. Like when I listen to y'all in the morning, every morning somebody calling big, and there's always something going on. Like, man, that's why it's hard to have empathy for folks, because you never know.
You're absolutely right. What she just said is true. It's hard to have empathy for people because you just never know, and sometimes somebody will send you a GoFundMe and you'll read the story and be like, man, go F yourself. I ain't stupid.
Yeah. Well, he didn't call in, though. I don't, because she was like, people calling. He didn't call in. You just gave him donkey for a story that you read.
By the way, I gave him donkey just simply for leaving your kids. But you don't jeopardize your child's safety in the pursuit of employment, because there's no job on this planet that would make up for something happening to your child.
Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us up now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
It's a new day.
This is your time to get it off your chest.
Wake up.
Whether you're mad or blessed?
It's time to get up and get something.
Call up now. 800-585-1051. We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
Yo, it's Deontay 864.
864, what's happening upstate
Get it off your
South
chest,
Carolina?
What's going on? Jess, when you gonna make your way down to South Carolina? I see you keep tiptoeing around us, but you ain't made it down here yet.
I know, right? In the summer, in the late summer, like August, September. Trying to make it to Charleston.
Okay.
I'm trying to come to Columbia. I'm trying to, yeah.
People ask me that all the time.
Yeah.
I'll definitely be there. I got one more thing.
They be like, when
Hey,
Jess
Loren,
coming?
I know you're in the background.
Loren,
I know you're in the background. You can hear me. I've been tapped into your podcast, but I just wanted to say, could you throw a little extra stuff in? Because I know you talk about the stuff you already talked about on the Breakfast Club, but I want to hear a little bit more, not the same thing you've been talking about on the Breakfast Club. But it's been good so far, though.
Wow, you checking you.
No, people, I've heard that, and I've also heard that people want it longer as well, too. So I hear y'all. But did you listen to episode 3?
You just started.
Yeah, I don't listen to all of them.
Okay, because episode 3, we discussed a story that the Breakfast Club didn't touch. Which story was it?
I got you. Hey, Charlamagne, let me get a book signed, though. I got both your audio books.
You just
first.
started,
I want a book signed, though.
We got books up here. I'll get you a book, man. You know, the paperback for my third book, Get Honest or Die Lying, came out yesterday, by the way.
Hold on,
I'll get
okay?
you a copy.
All right.
Hello, who's this?
Good morning, DJ Elie. What's going on with you, my brother?
What's up, brother? Get it off your chest.
All right, listen. I feel like there's a lot going on with this whole thing with Little Baby in regards to his involvement with this video being shot down there. I feel like he's being set up and targeted because he's making a lot of strides that most rappers don't make. And I also noticed that a few months ago, the brother came out of Harvard and was in Harvard in classes. I think it's a setup I don't like. I mean, I want us to just be more aware and not be so fast to judge him and what's going on with him. But you know, DJ Envy, if you, I don't know, you won't remember, but I met you the day before Angela Yee, her last day. You had an event in Elizabeth at Barcode. And I met you that night. I don't know if you remember that.
2 years ago?
I kind of clowned. Yeah, and I kind of clowned you because, you know.
Oh, yeah. No,
you
I don't
had the
know.
same outfit on. You remember that?
Yep. No.
You didn't change your clothes. Charlamagne the guy. Peace, my brother.
Peace, King.
Peace. Now, did you get a chance to go check out my trailer, Mr. Show Money on Instagram?
No, I ain't get a chance to, my brother.
Oh, man. It's
You want me to
about
lie to you?
No, I want you to go check it out. Come on, man. I'm gonna lie to me.
Yeah. I'm going to watch it.
Hey, yo.
That's crazy.
Nah. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to check it out.
Nah.
Instagram, right?
That's real Hollywood, Charlamagne. That's crazy, bro.
No,
He's joking, man. He
I'm
messing
playing.
with you,
I am
brother.
going to watch it, though. I do want to say something, too, about the Little Baby completing the Harvard Business School. You know, that was just a week-long program. I'm not hating. I'm just saying.
Oh, my God, for real?
No, I'm not hating.
No,
I'm not
I thought
hating.
you really was in there.
No, that's not
Only a
hate.
week?
It was a week-long program.
They had a week-long program.
But he still- he
a
took
bunch
the
of people
time.
go to it, but he still went it. He still
Yeah.
did it. He still,
She
succeeded
said he
in the
took the
course.
time, the 5 days, just to go up in there.
I mean, he's a little baby. He could have been doing other
could've been
stuff.
doing
No, because I'm just saying, I know how
Okay.
people are about that. There's people like that that actually graduated from Harvard with
Oh, they
business
be pissed
degrees.
about
Right.
that.
Like,
They
yo, you
hate
did-
that.
Yeah, I thought when he said that, like, he meant like Lil Baby was actually going to school.
He was there.
It was a
but just
5-day
for-
course. I think it was a 5-day
Okay.
course.
It was a week-long program at Harvard Business School.
But that's how, like, us real HBCU grads feel about people who get honorary degrees, too.
Oh.
Well, y'all
that's
need to
what's
donate
up.
more money to y'all schools, like we do.
Damn.
He didn't even go to a class.
Who?
You.
No, I didn't, but
Yeah.
I donated a lot of money to South Carolina State. By the way, speaking of that, the deadline for my scholarship is April 16th. So you need to go send your essays in to South Carolina State University so you can be eligible for the scholarship.
You give away scholarships.
I sure do.
That is what's up. I know that's right.
Yeah, been doing that for a couple of
Love
years.
scholarships.
Yeah, we'll donate some money to them. Donate some money to them. That's my mom's alma mater. I showed up for mine. What's up, Loren? Getting a little something now. What's up?
The podcast only got 3 episodes. Give me some time, okay? Give me some time.
Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. Now, we got the latest with Loren coming up.
We do. Kanye West just dropped a song, and he let us know Bianca, his wife, did leave him, and it's because of his social media rants. Yeah.
All right, well, we'll get to that next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Good morning, everybody. We are The Breakfast Club.
I got to cross all T's, dot all I's.
Let's get to the latest with Laura.
Loren be coming with straight facts.
She gets them from somebody that knows somebody.
She gets the details.
I'm the homegirl that knows a little bit about everything. And
She be having the latest on this.
The latest with Lauren LaRosa.
Sometimes she have facts, sometimes she have details, sometimes she have a little bit of everything.
Well, it's the latest.
On The Breakfast Club.
Talk to me.
Okay, so Kanye West has released a song. The song is called Bianca. This is from his new album, WW3. And the song talks about Bianca leaving him because of his social media posts.
That was Miss Juicy from the Ricky Smiley Morning Show. I already know who it is. I know her voice when I hear it.
Well, the song, in the song...
That's a song? That's what you want to call it?
It is a song.
Okay.
Want you back.
He talks about... he says that Bianca left him because of a series of tweets. He doesn't specify which exact tweets, but there's been a lot of them. But because of a social media rant, he says that she came to him and said, look, I need you to get help. He said she was trying to get him committed. He said no, so she left. So he's been tracking her through like his car app. And until she comes back, he's not going to sleep. He also says that he is channeling the spirit of Donda. He feels like this is an attack from people who voted for Hillary Clinton.
Oh, Lord.
And that he feels like people are trying to kill him right now.
Why would that song bring her back, though?
Right.
Like, that ain't the song that's going to bring her back. That's the song that's going to keep her away.
That girl probably sitting somewhere with some clothes on, so happy and warm finally.
So warm.
Yeah, if you want to beg, you better go call Keith Sweat and put him on a hook. Because that ain't it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, but it confirms all of the, because you guys remember there have been so many rumors about them being up and down. Like, she's leaving him, the marriage is over, her friend, so it was like sources close to her friends say that like she's worried and she's blah, blah, blah. I think this confirms a lot of that. And what we were seeing, like when they would pop out in Tokyo, wherever they were, happy after those reports was probably her just trying to make sure he was good. Very similar to what Kim Kardashian went through, I will say.
I just want to speak for me.
Go ahead.
I didn't need confirmation because I didn't care.
Oh, my God.
I know Bianca's dad is happy, though.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Bianca dad
he was
been
pissed
wanting her
off.
out of there. Yeah, absolutely.
So I wonder who's in Kanye's camp now. Like who's he moving with and all that now? Because it was just them two, right?
Academics.
Oh,
absolutely.
So speaking of, Academics posted some texts yesterday from Kanye, and the texts were in response to what we talked about up here about Jay-Z not owning Kanye West's masters. Like he had put that out through the Academics interview, and we debunked it. So there's a text where someone's like, hey, Charlamagne says Jay-Z didn't own your masters. Is that true? Kanye says, you know what? I'm not sure. Charlamagne won't speak up on how those women are trafficking my black kids. And thank you for then he thanks him for posting something about Chloe. And then he says, Charlamagne won't speak up about my position on the Jews. He'll only speak against me. What if 80% of what I said is fact and 20% was opinion or something I was misinformed about? My sentiment is still the same. I'm not a N-word who understands publishing and master's usage, etc. I always ask, what's the point of owning master tapes if you don't own the tape deck? So what does Charlamagne say? So who does Charlamagne say owns them? I'm happy I said it out loud so I can find out. N-words been blackballed from having any legal representation.
What is your problem with him? You won't speak up or speak out?
I don't even know what he's talking about.
Mr. Mental Health.
But I will say this. Why would he jump out there and make those claims against Jay-Z and not even know if they're true or not? Like, he doesn't even know who owns his catalog. He doesn't know who makes money off his catalog. Kanye just be out here talking, lying for attention, and y'all eat it up.
80-20 rule.
It's attention.
But his attorneys can find out who owns the masters.
No, he said he's blackballed from legal representation. Boy, you don't listen.
I listen to that part.
Everybody talk about I don't listen. Clean your Dominican ears.
But the reason I say that is because yesterday there was a rumor that Jay-Z sold the masters to get his masters back, which was a rumor too, they said.
All of that is nonsense.
Yeah, it is. That's
you know
what
else was ridiculous about them text messages? At the top of those text messages, what did he say about Jay-Z? At the very top. What did he say?
Jay-Z, white, A-word is going too far. Remember that False Idol song.
How can Kanye call Jay-Z white ass? Who act more white and seeks more white validation than Kanye freaking West? This dude is out here with White Lives Matter t-shirts on, selling them on his website, swastika t-shirts, dressed up in KKK outfits, and you got the nerve to call another black man white? A black man that's out here way more blacker than you with a beautiful black wife and black family? Well, y'all just be letting these niggas get away with anything and eating it up. It's ridiculous.
I never seen Jay-Z's ass, so I can't tell you the color of Jay-Z's ass.
What Jay-Z ass got to do with this?
He said Jay-Z's ass
White.
was white.
He said white.
Ass. You can say
Shut
ass.
up, man. Yeah, I would expect a white man. I would expect another white man to say that. You a Dominican white man. He is a Dominican white man.
I'm black.
No, you not.
Yes, I am.
No,
I am black.
Show me your birth certificate right now.
His butt certificate?
Birth
Okay, y'all are ridiculous. I don't want to talk to y'all. Come on. Y'all just gay. Y'all want to be gay? This one is so...
we want to be gay?
I swear to God, that's
First of all, speaking of gay, it's Young M.A. birthday.
Yes, it is. There's a birthday cake out there with a dildo on the top right now.
What? Oh my God.
Jess, why you get so hyped when you said that though?
I love Young M.A.
Okay.
She remind me of Jim Jones.
You already have a man, girl. Relax.
What is going on here?
Happy birthday, Young M.A.
What is going on? I'm sorry.
She did. She
This
just
show is
gave
not
me
serious
Jim
for nothing.
Jones vibes. Like,
This show is not serious for nothing.
Dropping the clues bombs for Young.
Oh, now you gonna drop a bomb for her? Can you pull up a Young M.A. song at least?
Young and Mary Monitor, Jim Jones.
Yes.
What is going on here?
so
All right.
tough.
That's the latest law. I'm sorry, Loren. I'm sorry you couldn't get through it. All right.
I just want her to enjoy her birthday.
All right. When we come back, we got front
You know what to
page.
do.
No, I actually don't.
I
don't. But she raps, so I'm sure she could talk me through it.
You got it? All right. All right. Up next, we got front page news. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake up.
Wake up. You're locked into the Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get back to some front page news. Again, we got to congratulate Carmelo Anthony. He has been elected to the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Easy call, man. First
Absolutely.
ballot Hall of Famer, man. Salute to Melo.
Absolutely. And also the NBA is looking into Ja Morant. They believe he might have been using his hands and arms to mimic shooting a gun toward the Golden State Warriors bench in Tuesday's game. So they're looking into that. Well, you know, they don't like you using the gun stuff and pointing fingers and stuff like that.
They need to change the language and stop saying shoot. He shot the ball. He's shooting. I don't who cares? Like, you know what bothers me about that?
What?
Steph Curry had 52 points in that game, 12 3-pointers, and that's what we talking about?
Hey, NBA's doing an investigation. What's up, Morgan?
So Elon Musk, he will likely be stepping back from his role in the Trump administration. The reports come after the tech billionaire super PAC spent millions in a losing effort to get their Republican-backed candidate on the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Musk has repeatedly said he'll leave his position at DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, within his 130-day mandate as a non-governmental employee. So if you're not an elected official or a non-government employee, you're just a special employee by the government, well, you only have 130 days to work. So that sentiment was backed up by the White House spokesperson, Caroline Leavitt, who called the reports garbage. But, you know, Elon Musk is essentially standing to be done with all of this at his 130 days. You guys have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I never understood why Elon wanted to be on the front lines anyway. Like, when you look at, how it's impacting his business, when you look at how it's impacting Tesla, like the sales are plummeting and the stocks are dropping, I never understood why he just couldn't be like every other oligarch and, donate to these campaigns and be the puppet master in the shadows. I never understood why he wanted to be all up in the videos, all up on the records, dancing. I just never understood it.
Well, when he first did
Maybe
it,
it backfired.
Well, yeah, because I thought when he first did it, I thought the valuation of his company shot in the air crazy.
Right.
But then I guess all the other F-ish he'd been doing, it just shot right back down. But I thought at first it was like a good move for Tesla. But
The people who buy these Teslas mostly are liberals. Liberals are the ones who care about climate change and the electric cars and all of that.
Yep.
So, you get so tied in with Mack. But they always say that if you're a businessman, don't get so entrenched in, any one political side. Because what Michael Jordan say?
But Republicans and
buy
Democrats
sneakers too.
sneakers.
Like Republicans and Democrats both buy sneakers.
Yep.
Yeah, it's giving he was bored or something, But yeah, we will see what ends up happening with Musk
He
after
should
the
have did
fact.
what every other rich man does when they get bored. Go gay.
What?
Nothing. I'm sorry.
All right,
So
so
buy a
bring
yacht.
Right. Go
Jeez.
gay. That's crazy.
Oh my
You
goodness!
can't wait to get filthy.
I'm like you know from experience.
I've heard things.
All right, guys, let's bring things home to you in New York. New York City Mayor Eric Adams, he's praising the dismissal of the corruption case that was against him, thanking his legal team. Adams said he's happy that he can focus on the city and the city's future and finally move on. He's also apologizing to New Yorkers for having to go through this with him. Let's take a listen to New York City Mayor Eric Adams.
Let me be clear. As I've said all along, this case should have never been brought. And I did nothing wrong. I'm now happy that our city can finally close the book on this and focus solely on the future of our great city.
So a federal judge issued the decision on Wednesday morning to toss the case with prejudice, meaning it can't be brought back to court. This is weeks after the DOJ ordered the case to be dropped, and just one day after Adams is required to file documents to appear on the Democratic mayoral primary ballot, which I believe you guys' election day is in June, right? So yeah, it looks like you guys are going to be gearing up for that New York election.
You know, Morgan, you should go listen to Eric Adams on my guy Andrew Schultz's podcast, Flagrant. Like he says he feels like he was targeted by the Biden administration because he spoke out against the migrant issue, and he said that he feels like there's a permanent government that is in control. Like a permanent government that, regardless of what happens in elections or who looks like the figurehead, he said he feels like there's a permanent government that's really in control. I just thought that was interesting for a sitting mayor to say stuff like that.
But that was prior to his charges.
Prior to the charges being dropped.
I'd be curious to hear from Mayor Eric Adams. Tap in, how you feel about that now. I mean, do you still feel that's the case, being that your charges were dropped? A lot of people are saying that, all of this is happening because he was kind of chummy with the Trump administration, or that he, was working with the Trump administration. So, I don't know. We will continue to watch that situation and see, or hopefully that particular situation, there is a closed book on his particular case, but I know he is still running for mayor, so we will follow that story. And bringing things home to here in the DMV or in DC. So former President Obama is apologizing for his surprise appearance in a family photo. Y'all, he photobombed this family. He was taking a walk on Monday to the cherry blossoms, which are the cherry trees down here that were a gift from Japan, down in the Tidal Basin, when he strolled into a series of pictures being taken of the Moore's family's young 2 children. Now, the mom, Pamela Moore, was focused on corralling the kids because there's no railing and it's, near the water. So they were like making sure that the kids weren't walking towards the water or anything like that. But Dad was like, whoa, is that Obama? Is that Obama? Is that Obama? And then when the mom finally, got the shots done and all of these things, she finally surfaced and was like, okay, what were you saying? And yeah, it was Obama, clear as day. Let's take a listen to the mom, Pamela Moore, in that incident.
And my husband's like, that's Obama. I didn't know he was saying. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm making sure I'm looking at Preston right now. After they're done with their shoot, I then pick Preston up and I'm like, what did you just say? He's like, that's Obama. I was like, what? I was like, well, did we get a picture? And then we went to a photographer and she scrolled back and we like, we got it.
Yeah, why do you apologize?
I need to see
the
picture.
So basically, it wasn't a real apology. He basically caught wind of what happened and sent a message to the kids.
It's a black family. It's a black family.
Yeah, it was a black family. He said, Preston and Belle, I hope you enjoyed Peak Bloom. My bad for stepping into the shot. He wasn't like a whole issued apology from like a president, but it was just like, hey, my bad.
That's cool. President Obama, if you got caught out there with your second family, just say that. That don't look like no photobomb to me. That look like a nice family stroll. No, Barrio.
Yo, you see how it is? They just want a controversy in black family. He was too clean.
You know what I'm saying? Black family out there enjoying themselves at the cherry blossoms.
Only controversy that man had was a different color suit, and now Charlamagne gonna say he got a different family.
My daddy had a second family. I know what that looked like.
You gave us 8 years of no scandal, right? No family type scandals.
Oh, man. Thank you,
all right, y'all. That's your front page news. Follow me on socials at Morgan Media. And for more news coverage, follow at Black Information Network. Download the free iHeartRadio app and visit us at BINnews.com. Thank y'all.
If you haven't seen the picture, I'm sure the Breakfast Club will post a picture so you guys could actually see it. All right, when we come back, we have Elie Mystal joining us. He's the author of Bad Law, 10 popular laws that are ruining America. You're not going to want to miss this. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
They call him Big Elie.
The reason I don't want to mess up your last name is Mystal.
It's Mystal rhymes with Crystal. I made that up myself.
Elie Mystal. All right.
Yes. The kids used to say Elie rhymes with jelly. I didn't like that at all. So,
but welcome. New book out, Bad Law.
Man, first of all, Elie, you're one of my favorite people to listen to. I love reading your work in The Nation. I started reading a lot more of your stuff a few years ago when I realized the Constitution didn't mean much. Okay,
not
anymore,
us.
Right? So I'm glad you're here. What got you into studying constitutional law?
Well, I went to law school, and I hated it. I went to Harvard Law School, and part of the legal training is like they say that they're going to make you think like a lawyer, right? Mm-hmm. So what that means is that they take the way you think, which was fine to me, and they break you. And then they try to build you back up in this new, like, legal way of understanding the world. And I just never accepted the training. At every point when you're telling me that, like, oh, well, this is how it's always been done, I'm always like, by the slavers? And I should care about that why? And just so it was a constant while I was in law school, like, back and forth in terms of my professors trying to kind of push me in a certain box and me resisting that box. And not all of my professors. One of my professors was current Supreme Court Justice Elena Kagan. She was great, right? But I would go to her office hours and be like, why is this like this? And she would say, Thurgood Marshall once said. It's like, I don't give a damn what Thurgood said. Yeah. He was talking for a different time. What about our time? And so these were the conversations I had all the time. And that led to my first book and certainly my career in general.
And that's why you feel like all laws before 1965 should be deemed unconstitutional?
I said presumptively unconstitutional, which is a legal dodge. I'm trying to lawyer my way around that. But my fundamental premise is that before the 1965 Voting Rights Act, which I think is the most important piece of legislation ever passed in American history, this was functionally an apartheid country. Not everybody who lived here could vote here. Not everybody who lived here could participate in the government here. The majority of people who lived here, if you think about not just black people, but also Latinos and also women, couldn't actually participate in the government. What do you call that? We have a word for that. That word is apartheid. And so if you're now going to say that we passed some law before everybody had a say, before everybody had a vote, and that law should still be controlling today, I say, hell no, right? It's like Roy Breaker from Lock, Stock, right? If the milk's sour, I ain't the type of to drink it, right? So if you're going to go all the way back before everybody had a vote, I'm saying that presumptively speaking, that law should mean nothing. Now, I'm not saying that you get rid of every single law passed before 1965. Some of them I quite like the 1964 Civil Rights Act. I think that was a good law. I also like the Sherman Antitrust Act. I like a lot of laws that were passed before 1965. But my argument is that if we like the law, we could pass it again. We could pass it again, this time asking everybody. And for that example, I didn't make that up myself, right? The example that I'm using here is what they did in South Africa, right? When South Africa got over apartheid, did they just go back to their Afrikaner racist constitution and be like, oh, we just need a couple of amendments. We just need a couple of changes here to make it work? No, they threw the whole thing out and started again, this time asking everybody. Wow. This time having a completely new delegation of all of the people of South Africa, not just the white folks, but not no white folks. And they came up with a new constitution. It's one of the reasons why the South African constitution is generally thought of as one of the best constitutions in the world, and ours continues to be a piece of crap.
We're talking to Elie Mystal, a new book out now, Bad Law, 10 Popular Laws That Are Ruining America. Can you talk about Chapter 3? Who gave away the skies to the airline?
Now, I just want you to know, Jess and myself were reading some of your chapter titles.
Yes.
We love them. We got to go through a lot of them. There's a couple that me and her were talking, and we were like, these would be good if we were on edibles, but go.
Do y'all like flying?
Yes.
You love flying? I do. You like flying? I hate flying. It is like the worst. It is always the worst day of my life. Well, I'm fat. So I gotta squeeze myself into a small ass seat that ain't built for me. I got somebody's, seat back right into my lap. I can't eat nothing.
The seatbelt extender.
Right. I gotta get the most embarrassing moment of my life every time I have to do it. Ma'am, can I have a seatbelt extender? I'm a fatty, please. And then I have to, right? And then I cry on the inside, right? The food's expensive. The liquor sucks. The service sucks. I'm always delayed. My bags get lost. It is miserable. It didn't always used to be this way. Flying used to be awesome. Spacious seats, good service, kind people, and they weren't nickel and diming you at every point. And the reason why it used to be great and now it's not is this thing called deregulation. The idea, the airline industry used to be one of the most heavily regulated industries in the country. That makes a lot of sense because we're putting metal in the sky and hoping it comes down at a survivable rate. That's crazy. So it used to be one of the most heavily regulated industries in the country with literal price fixing. Literally, the government set the maximum price that you could charge for certain routes. And I know conservatives, Republicans, even a lot of Democrats are like, price fixing, that's terrible. That stops innovation. No, it doesn't. It makes flying a public service, and it makes it easy for people to get around the country. FDR thought it was a war plan, thought it was part of our mobilization plan for war to have reliable, cheap, and accessible commercial air flight, right? Democrats and Republicans gave the skies away literally to corporate raiders in the 1970s. Now, when I started researching this book, I actually assumed that this was a Ronald Reagan program because most, I don't know about your process. My process is usually like, if I see something bad, show me the Republicans, right? Show me what Reagan did, because I'm sure it's his fault. And there's always a mustache-twirling Republican, behind every curtain. But for this particular issue, this Republican plan to deregulate the airlines and let the market decide how we fly as opposed to the government, that was spearheaded by the Democrats. And as I did the research, Democrats that we all know kept coming up. Joe Biden, Ted Kennedy, huge in this deregulation. Stephen Breyer, one of the Democratic appointees to the Supreme Court for a long time. There were all of these Democrats that got sucked in. Ralph Nader, right, got sucked into the gospel of deregulation. And once they did it, once the Republicans, I would say, snow jobbed the Democrats into this thing, the first thing that happened when they gave away the airlines is the thing that has killed the Democratic Party for my entire lifetime. The Airline Deregulation Act came out in 1978. I was born in 1978. For my entire lifeline, labor got gutted. Airline jobs used to be good jobs, baggage handlers and flight attendants and pilots. Pilots used to be one of the best jobs you could get. And with market forces, with deregulation, those good jobs got slashed, right? And then you go into the Reagan era where Reagan's like, social safety net. Here's a big old hole I'm cutting in your social safety net. And people fell from good middle-class jobs straight through down to the bottom. And they've never forgiven the Democrats for it. See, that's the thing that I think the Democratic Party didn't kind of realize. When you cut labor used to vote for Democrats consistently, right? Not just black labor, white labor. This white working class laborers used to vote for Democrats. But once the market controlled everything, Democrats weren't helping them. And that's how they became, I believe it's part of the reason why they became obsessed with their cultural issues as opposed to their economic issues, because they felt like they weren't going to get ahead economically anyway, right? If you tell people like you're not going to get ahead economically, you're going to be poor, you're going to be struggling, but you're going to be better off than that black person over there. That's right. They're going to be like, okay, sign me up, Trump. Like that's how it happens. You tell white folks that they're going to have nothing, but they're going to have a little bit more than black folks, and white folks will sign up.
All right, we got more with Elie Mystal when we come back. Don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We're still kicking it with Elie Mystal, the author of Bad Law. Now, you had a question, right, Jess? Chapter 9.
Why can't we say gay? What are we supposed to say?
So,
you
as I'm sure most of your listeners are aware of, I could have written the whole book just Bad Law in Florida. Like you could have just gone through the Florida plan. This is terrible. This is just racist. This is stupid. Right? I focused on the Florida Don't Say Gay law because it is so particularly oppressive and stupid. The law says that you cannot teach about gender difference, sexuality differences, transgender issues. You can't say any of those words to school children, right? And if you talk to certain kinds of conservatives, they're like, well, that's fine. Why does a third grader need to learn about gay people? Why can't they just learn about reading and writing, right? And I'm like, do y'all have third graders? Like, I got a 12-year-old and a 9-year-old, right? They talk about all this stuff, not in a kind of lascivious sexual way, but they're interested in how these things work, right? They see it. It's
I wondered, would they be if they weren't taught about it in schools or showing it on television?
Yeah, because they just see it in their daily lives, right? And so I use the example: if I'm a school teacher and I've got my wife and I have a picture of me and my wife on my desk at school, the kids see that it's me and my wife, that it's a man and a woman, right? If I'm a gay school teacher and I have a picture of me and my husband on the desk, they see that that's different. They see that it's a man and a man. And they might have a question about that. And in Florida, I'm not allowed to say. Why? And so people act like it's neutral, but it's not. It is what the scholars call heteronormative. It's pushing the man and the woman, that's the normal way of doing it, and the man and the man, or the woman and woman, that's just crazy and weird, when you could just say, like, oh, that's my husband. Anyway, back to math.
So what do you think about, Trump's transgender bill where it's just two genders, this, and the other. What is your thoughts on that?
It's again, biologically, it's not true. There are people who are different. That's just a biological fact. We can pretend. People think that.
Is it biological or neurological?
Man, I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
Because I said neurological because you can think you're in the wrong body, but I'm not. That's not biologically the fact.
Man, I don't know.
Biologically, it's men and women.
No, I don't think that's right. I think that there are. Again,
Is something other than a man and woman?
You have aliens.
As I see now, you're pushing me into.
Don't say gay.
You're getting me away from the law. But
I'm just asking.
As I understand it, there are people who are born with female hormones in male bodies, right? Or vice versa. And they want to express how they feel inside as opposed to how they look on the outside. But I think the larger point is not just that I don't know. The larger point is I don't care.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's not me. I'm the way that I am, right? I don't care how it doesn't affect me. Just somebody else being trans doesn't make me think, oh man, maybe I should be trans. I always wanted to wear nice hats. That's not how my whatever.
Yeah.
I tell a story in the book about in my kids' class, one of the kids in my younger kids' class came out as a boy after being a girl.
At what age?
I want to say 8. And the parents were just like, blah, 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 blah. How does one really? How is that? The kids were just like, yeah, whatever. It's Ramses now. It used to be Cleopatra. It's Ramses now.
But
he's cool.
8, though, and then if I'm your mom, I'm like, no, I named you Corey. How are you just gonna come up and be Shakira today?
But isn't that
you gotta think about that?
But that's between Ramses and his mom.
And the mom. Okay.
That's not between me and that's not between the school and the kid. I don't have a say.
But it kind of does. What does the school call him or her? You know what I mean? Because if your mama named you Corey, and now you saying I don't want to be called Corey, I want to be called Shamika. So now is the school supposed to call you Shamika?
I just don't think an 8-year-old should be making that decision.
Man, my kids go to a progressive school where, like, if my kid came in and said, I want to be called Ketchup today, they would call him Ketchup. They would call him what the kid wants to be called. And I think that's just the natural thing to do. If somebody comes and tells you their name, you say their name, right? You don't say, actually, you're Cassius Clay. No, you say, you want to be Muhammad Ali today, guess what? You get to be Muhammad Ali
today. So
today.
if your kid goes to school and say, I'm Batman, they're going to call your kid Batman?
They're going to call my kid Batman.
But see, I think that's a little different. We're talking about his name. Yeah, because if I say, yes, this is my name, you call me my name. But if I say, I am Ketchup, and I just stand still, and when hot dogs come around, ketchup coming out my head.
It's different,
That's just a little different.
See, I disagree. I don't think Ramses does anything different in school now that he's Ramses than he did when he was Cleopatra. I don't think that doesn't learn differently, doesn't eat lunch in a different...
He might start going to different bathrooms.
Might start going to
the other women, which make women uncomfortable.
Tell the kids uncomfortable.
Yeah, the other 8-year-old girls.
All right.
They're only 8.
Do you know how uncomfortable kids are in bathrooms as they hit puberty generally?
So now you send a little boy in?
Yeah, but now it's
into a private stall?
Yeah, but you gotta walk past the sinks and other dudes before you get to the private stall. And it's like, what you doing here, Shamik?
Yeah, you have daughters or sons?
Sons.
All right, so your sons will not get naked in front of your wife and other women, but he will do it in front of you, correct? If you have to change or if it's something like that. So now imagine a girl going into a boy's bathroom where urinal, he's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to make him feel awkward, don't you think?
And even more uncomfortable than he would,
So we were at City Field, and my boy going to the urinal, and my boy just drops trow. Doesn't use the fly, just drops trow to his ankles and just takes a pee. Now, I was uncomfortable. I was like, that how was you raised? Oh, wait, that was me. Like how did that happen? Right? And I was like, maybe you should pull, when you do. He's like, oh, why? It's my butt. Why? I was peeing. And I was like,
he definitely sounds like your son. Yes.
That's a fair point, right? Yeah. Like, people will get over it. People will learn. And again, we're talking about this from the perspective of making things more comfortable for the heteronormative kids in the school. We also should be talking about this in terms of making things more comfortable for the trans kids in the school. Mm-hmm. Because as much as we might say it might be uncomfortable for the trans girl in the girls' bathroom for the other girls, imagine how uncomfortable it is for the trans girl in the boys' bathroom as they hit puberty. And we know, and again, this is not me making it up, we know statistically speaking that trans women are the most likely people to be brutalized, to be murdered, to be beaten up, to be victims of domestic violence in this country. So if you're telling me that we can potentially save some trans kids from that fate. And the cost is that some girls have to be a little bit uncomfortable in a bathroom at a high school. That is a trade that I'm willing to make, and that is a trade that I think society should be willing to make.
I respect everybody's right to live, but I don't want to have this conversation no more. Like you said, what you said earlier is true. I don't care.
Yeah.
That's how y'all lost the last election. Like,
no, it's one of your favorite people. You like to listen to him.
I do.
So,
I just don't like this part.
Listen, take them all colors. This is what we like to do.
I don't even.
Can I just get back to the law just really quickly?
Please.
Just very quickly on the law of this, the idea that we can discriminate against trans people but nobody else doesn't make sense legally, right? If we're going to have a law that treats everybody equal under the law, then we have to treat trans people with the same kind of respect and decency that we treat everybody else. And once you start trying to poke holes in that, you see they're not stopping at trans. They're going right to gay. They're going right to all these other things, right? The chapter, it says,
we can't say gay. Now we can't say trans.
Now we can't say trans. Now we can't say all these other things, right? So again, from a legal standpoint, equality.
You going to drop your trousers? You going to?
No. You might as well just pee right here. Just whip it out and just pee right here. We're not uncomfortable at all.
That's we're evolved, right?
Yeah.
So just legally speaking, the easiest thing in the law is just to treat everybody.
I got you.
All right, we got more with Elie Mystal when we come back, the author of Bad Law. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. We have author of Bad Law, Elie Mystal, joining us. 10 popular laws that are ruining America. Charlamagne?
Why are people so nonchalantly discussing Trump getting a third term?
Well, here's the thing. He can't constitutionally. But what he can't do and what he can do are two very different things.
That's right.
Right? That's right. If you understand that we live in a fascist dictatorship, and we do, this is what it feels like. I know that the New York Times hasn't said, today fascism started, but like, it started, right? We are now living in a fascist dictatorship. And so when you tell the fascist dictator, hey, you can't do this legally, I might be right, but he might not care. So, if you're asking me about the law, no, the 22nd Amendment is ironclad on this issue. There is no wiggle room. You cannot serve. You cannot be elected president more than twice. Doesn't matter if your terms were consecutive or non-consecutive. They were very clear at what they wanted to do when they wrote that amendment. It's one of the most clear amendments in the entire Constitution. That said, Trump is a fascist dictator. My man lost the 2020 election and attacked the Capitol and came this close to overturning that election. So who's to say that he can't do it again? Who's to say that he can't be successful in doing it the next time, right? Like, so we can't blithely say that he can't do something just because he's legally prevented from doing something. He's already shown he doesn't actually give a damn about what he's legally prevented from doing. So can I make a case for how he'll do it? Sure, I like to say one of the things that makes me a little bit of a different legal commentator than a lot of others is that I understand what white people are capable of. I've never forgotten what white people are capable of in this country. And if you want to tell me that Trump is going to run for a third term and has a way to win it, I can tell you how he does it. He gets himself, because remember, we don't have one federal election system in this country. We have 50. So all he has to do is get himself on the ballot in red states that are already capitulating to him, enough red states to get to 270 votes. The ballot process is controlled by the states, not by the federal government. You can say, well, like, he shouldn't be kicked off the ballot, but he should have been kicked off the ballot last time because he was in violation of the 14th Amendment. What did the Supreme Court do? Oh, no, we shouldn't decide such things. It should be up to the 14th Amendment. He should have been kicked off last time, but the Supreme Court didn't step in. Will they step in next time? I don't know.
So what Al Sharpton and everybody saying is BS that can't happen. That's untrue. It can.
No, it's not BS. It can't happen legally.
Got you.
But let's not fool ourselves to think that Trump is not willing to act illegally. Gotcha. Right? He can illegally get himself on the ballot. He can illegally get himself to some version of 270 votes, and he can illegally declare that he is still the president. And who's going to check him, boo?
Yeah.
Like, who's going to actually stop him from doing that, right?
It won't be the Supreme Court. I love the article you wrote for The Nation called "It's Impossible to Overstate the Damage Done by the Supreme Court." Do you think the Supreme Court would back him in something like that?
I don't know.
Wow.
Not only do I not know that they would back him, if they don't, I don't know that he would follow their order.
Yeah.
There's been no evidence that Trump is going to follow a Supreme Court order that he doesn't like. And more to the point, there's been absolutely no evidence that he's going to enforce a Supreme Court order on the co-president Elon Musk that he doesn't like. So even if the Supreme Court stands up to him, and I'm putting that in air quotes, there's no evidence that he'll actually listen to them. Because anything that he controls the physical power of, and I think people really have to understand this in a kind of chest-thumping way. Like, if he physically controls it, because he physically controls the army, he physically controls the paramilitary, he physically controls the secret police. If he physically can control something, he doesn't have to listen to nobody. Legal, illegal doesn't actually matter to him if he has physical control. Now, if he only has control because he's got to get other people to do his bidding in the states, in the localities, that's a place where the Supreme Court can kind of step in and maybe show some spine, right? So if you think about these lawsuits that he has in New York against like Kathy Hochul, if it's a situation where like he has to force Kathy Hochul to do something and Kathy Hochul says no and the Supreme Court says no, well then I don't think Trump can't force her to do it unless he's literally willing to put boots on the GW, which he might, but then we'd have some real traffic problems in Fort Lee. But if it's something that he has complete physical control over, I see no evidence of him actually following the Supreme Court order.
Is there anything that you feel like this presidency has done good at all, or is everything bad?
Not one thing. Because there is not one thing that fascism does well. And if I give them that credit, I legitimize all of it. It's one of the reasons why I was so angry at Schumer's capitulation on the budget deal. If you say that you can work with these people here, there, and whatever, what you're fundamentally saying is that you just have a little bit of a disagreement on this, that, and the other thing. You're not actually fighting fascism. You're just playing normal partisan politics, right? From my perspective, Trump is a fascist threat to the country. Nothing he do can be okay. And I wouldn't have said that about other Republicans. I wouldn't have said that about Mitt Romney or John McCain or even W. Dick Cheney, different. But even W, right? You could find some things that you could work together with those people on because they were fundamentally Democratic presidents. I mean Democratic with a small d, right? Presidents who believed in democracy.
Don't get gay. Oh, we can't say gay. Oh, we're in New York. We're in New York. Don't get gay. Because you said small d, and they were just thinking of small penises.
No, you weren't.
Yes, y'all were.
What's wrong with you, Jess?
I just got a couple more questions.
I said small d and I said Bush, like in the same sentence.
Okay.
But listen, what was the significance of Cory Booker's filibuster?
One of the things that Democrats can do, since they have no political power, is start building narratives, start building movements, and start building momentum towards change. Right? One of the reasons why I wrote my book. Look, I wrote this before the election, before Joe Biden's first debate. I knew we were in trouble by the time, while I was writing it. I was under no illusions. But I kept writing it, and I kept thinking that this would be a good time to release it, because from my perspective, if we lost, this book then becomes my first attempt to write Project 2029.
Ooh,
right? That. These people are out here writing Project 2025. When did they start writing that? In 2021, when they had no power. When they had no political power whatsoever, that's when they started their plans for this current MAGA revolution. So from my perspective, this is the time when we have no power that we need to actually start thinking bigger and start thinking more actively, right? When Republicans come into office, they come in with a sledgehammer and they smash things that I hold dear, smash things that I care about, right? When Democrats come into office, we come in with like super glue and tape, and we're gonna like put the vase back together to make. We gotta smash some things. My book is about what we can smash. What Cory was doing is that same kind of idea of building momentum to something bigger, and that is the best use of Democratic power at this point, because it's the only power that they have, right?
Well,
you can't actually stand up to them legally because you have no authority. You can't send them to them in Congress because you have no authority. Now, I think they should be doing more than placards at the State of the Union. That was pathetic. Doing what Cory Booker did, breaking racist Strom Thurmond's record on the Senate floor. Like, these are the narratives and stories that we can be building now, so that by the time we get to 2026, I'm not even talking about 2028, by the time we get to 2026, primary season, that's the fight. Whether it lasts 2 years or 5 years or 10 years or 25 years is entirely up to us.
All right.
Well, Elie Mystal, his new book,
right.
Bad Law, 10 Popular Laws That Are Ruining America. I learned a lot from you, Elie. I like reading your stuff, man. You are very good at what you do.
I learned a lot in this interview, so I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All righty. Ladies and gentlemen, pick up the new book, Bad Law. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. All right, let's get to the latest with Loren.
Loren be coming with straight facts. She
gets them from somebody that knows somebody.
She gets the details.
I'm the homegirl that knows a little bit about everything.
She be having the latest on this.
The latest with Lauren LaRosa.
Sometimes she have facts, sometimes she have details, sometimes she have a little bit of everything.
Well, it's the latest.
On The Breakfast Club.
Talk to me.
So Drake just got a victory in court in the legal back and forth that he's having right now with Universal Music Group. So yesterday, a Judge Jeanette Vargas in New York, denied Universal Music Group's request to stay discovery. So Universal Music Group was saying, yo, can you pause on this whole discovery, letting us let Drake and team get into our business until we explore the motion to dismiss this whole thing that they have asked. They want it thrown out. They say it's BS. He's just mad because he lost a rap battle.
Right.
A judge said, well, we're still going to, that motion to dismiss, it's still going to happen. And they set a date for that. But no, I think that the discovery thing can happen and should happen. So I'm not going to say that we're going to stop it. This is a big deal.
What that mean now, though?
That means that Drake and team can go in and do what they've been saying that they wanted to do for a very long time. They can go in, they can look at contracts, including things that are in relation to Kendrick Lamar, emails, phone conversations, basically just come in and get all in the business of communications and processes and operations and all of that stuff.
I seen that yesterday.
For UMG.
So they were able to get Kendrick's contract to UMG, his signing contract and his deals and all that? That sounds crazy.
Well, they haven't done it yet. They just got the go-ahead to be able to move forward. And I don't know specifically which contracts they're asking for, but I think that I don't know. Why would they need a signing contract?
What are they going to discover that they don't already know, though? That the machine puts, a little extra oomph behind records that are already moving, just like I'm sure they're doing with Nokia right now?
Yeah.
Well,
it's the truth, though. What are they going to find out?
I think what they're trying to go in and find out is like any wrongdoing of the machine making oomph and all that stuff.
If it's wrongdoing, then it's typical record industry practices that have been going on since the beginning of time. That people like Drake have benefited from, that people like Kendrick have benefited from, that all of their artists benefit from.
But what if it's not? What if it's none? That's going to make you look crazy.
Yeah, we talked about...
ain't even no foul play, nothing going on.
It's like a baseball player looking for steroids, and you're like, oh, it's the same stuff I've been using. whether you know you was using it or not.
Yeah. No, but to Jess's point, we talked about this on the podcast yesterday, the latest with Lauren LaRosa. I said that if there's nothing found, he just looks like a crybaby. It just looks like, you know what I mean? But if there is things found, and it can be something small, like it could be one employee that happened to maybe send a Uber or send a gift or something that can look...
Uber.
I mean, because you have certain rules.
Think Kendrick Lamar getting an Uber?
No, I just mean like there's certain rules. A big one, not the little. There are certain rules around like bribery and I'm sure I don't know all the rules when it comes to radio, but I know like.
But that's not going to be in a contract. And the sad thing about it is
it's not going to be in a contract.
It's not just contracts though.
You're stupid.
It's not just contracts.
But if you look at a judge, does the judge know exactly about the music industry to see what he's giving permission for? Like giving up Kendrick's contract, and I don't know what's in Kendrick's contract, but giving up how much money he's making and the money that's spent, that's nobody's business but Kendrick and his label. Like, why would that want to go to somebody else?
But that's only one part of it, and I think once we see which contracts they pull and which information they focus on, we can kind of better understand, why they did that. Another part of it was, remember they talked about the bots or whatever that they said they alleged that Kendrick was Drake.
The same bots that have been used for all artists. All Drake is going to expose is secrets that have helped him too. And I don't even know if they're secrets, to be honest with you. Are they secrets? Or is that just standard record business practices at this point?
I thought it was standard record business practices.
All of this stuff, the bots, the everything that we talking about.
The bots don't matter no more because Drake's team yesterday in the court said that they've exchanged some, letters back and forth, and they're withdrawing those claims. They're going to focus on other stuff. They really are trying to, I think, figure out the bigger picture of this. Is like the money that was put into bigger things, not a few random.
But
bots
that's what they're looking for. The money that's put into Spotify, that's put in the streaming service, that's put in the radio, that's put in the TV. That's what they're looking for.
The same money that's been put into Drake for the last decade. What are we talking? Why was like? Come on.
The use of streaming farms is what they backed away from yesterday.
You think all artists haven't been beneficiaries of that because of these labels? Why are we acting clueless here, people?
Well, Drake's lawyer spoke out yesterday when this was released. There was a short press release, and at the bottom he had a one-line statement. He said, "Now it's time to see what UMG was so desperately trying to hide." Now, I did reach out to UMG for a comment on this and have not heard back yet.
I don't think UMG's trying to hide. I think UMG doesn't want to have to open the books for this artist, and then they have to do it for every other artist. So they're just trying to protect UMG. I don't think they have anything to hide.
Battery and somebody else back.
Well, maybe Drake needs to see this for his own good, because maybe he thinks Tootsie Slide really went number one because it was a good record, and that record was trash. Maybe he thinks Slime You Out went number one because it was a good record, and that record was also trash.
Slime You Out went number one after we talked about it in here. I remember
I don't remember any of that.
I do.
But all I'm simply saying is maybe he needs to see that for his own benefit, because you've been a beneficiary of these performance-enhancing drugs as well.
Well, UMG actually, they're arguing that the whole discovery evidence gathering process would be premature. It would impose undue burdens on them, especially given the potential that the case could be dismissed. So they're saying we don't mind a discovery, but just wait. Let's have the dismissal conversation first, because
which makes sense.
If it's going to be dismissed, why we got to put all these resources and time and energy to do all this? So we'll see what happens.
Nobody's winning but the lawyers.
Period.
So you got 2 minutes.
Another one. Yeah, so Young Thug, yesterday, there was a motion filed by the state of Georgia to revoke Young Thug's probation.
Jesus.
Yes. So the motion filed in Fulton County Superior Court yesterday claimed that Young Thug demonstrated a blatant disregard for the law, the safety of the witnesses, and the integrity of the judicial proceedings because he posted a now deleted photo online of one of the Fulton County investigators. Her name is Marissa Ververet. So she was testifying this week during the YSL trial, in relation to remember the little boys that were shot that we talked about, the 13-year-old little boys, in relation to all that stuff. And the court basically had barred video, photos, all of that stuff. And Thug posted a photo. He called her the biggest liar in the DA's office. And she's saying that because of that, she's received threats. Her family has received threats. There's people flooding her comments. There a ton of, basically, like, she feels like she's in danger because of that. So they're saying this presents a clear and present danger to public safety, and it's at the hands of Young Thug, which should be a violation of his probation. Now, Thug came out because he deleted all these tweets, but he came out and said, I don't make threats to people. I'm a good person. I would never condone anyone threatening anyone or definitely participating in any of the above. I'm all about peace and love.
Yeah, Thug got to be careful.
I don't even know why he's tweeting about stuff like this. He tweeted about the young scooter. 15 years probation. 15 years probation. They will do everything in their power to try to lock him back up. He has to be very, very careful.
Yeah, why do people care about social media so much? What is the allure of social media? Because even if you're thinking that in your head, why run to X or whatever to post that? Like, there's got to be something in you that says that's just not a smart thing to do.
Nah, not when he has 15 years probation, and they will try anything to lock his ass back up. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I would be so scared to even. I don't even walk by the court if I'm Thug. Like, I'm across the street. Don't even take me in the vicinity.
Thugs don't got no reason to be mentioning them people publicly.
Nah, not at all.
At all.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see what happens with this, because if they do determine that this was a violation or there was a threat or whatever, there can be consequences. So.
Jesus.
And they already mad that he got away.
Yes.
For the most part. I mean, even though they got him on the probation for the next 15 years, for the most part, he got away.
They are waiting for him to mess up to bring him back. Yes, absolutely.
And if he messes up, the sentence that was stayed, remember they take some of the time away?
Yeah, he has to do the full 20.
Yeah, he could potentially have to do that as well.
A very slippery slope.
He has a fight
when
that
you
again
slime.
Makes no sense. You stupid.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for the latest with Loren.
Welcome.
Charlamagne.
Yes.
We give him donkey too.
For after the hour, I have an update on a donkey that I did earlier this week. Remember Chris Lewis, the brother from Augusta, Georgia, who was arrested for deprivation of a minor after he left his kids unattended at a McDonald's?
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, we have an update, more of a double down. Actually, a double down on the hee-haw.
Because Envy was ready to cry for this man.
I said he deserved.
Shut up.
From the information that I got.
Yeah, that's why y'all gotta shut up.
You give it GoFundMe, donkey?
No.
We'll get to it next. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
You're checking out the Breakfast Club.
I wanted to know how you came up with the donkey of the day.
Tell her, because you're mean.
I am not. What did I do? Charlamagne donkey of the day.
There's a bunch of donkeys out here in the street.
That is why Charlamagne is here.
If we live a life where we bite our tongue based off who we may offend, we never would say it.
You don't give a damn, don't throw it up. Hey! Give it to him. Give it to him.
On the Breakfast Club.
In the words of Charlamagne the God, he's a donkey. That was
Oh man, Charlamagne, you giving donkey today to who now?
Well, Busta Rhymes, donkey today for Thursday, April 3rd is a double down to a donkey that I did earlier this week. Chris Lewis, the 24-year-old brother from Augusta, Georgia, who was arrested for deprivation of a minor after he left his kids, 3 kids, ages 10, 6, and 1 years old at a McDonald's unattended because he had a job interview. Can I refresh your memory? Let's go to Fox 26 Houston for the report, please.
A job interview ends badly for a man in Georgia. Chris Lewis was arrested March 22nd. Police say he left his kids in a McDonald's by themselves while he went to an interview for a job. He reportedly told police he did not have a car and lived nearby. Lewis said instead of making his 3 kids, who are 1, 6, and 10 years old, walk home alone, he decided to make them stay in the restaurant. What we know is he was there the kids were there from 4:30. He returned at 6:18. And then the mother was on the way as well, but we don't know if she was called by police or him after the fact or if she was on the way anyway.
Now, let's talk. I gave him donkey of the day for one simple reason. You don't jeopardize your child's safety in the pursuit of employment because there's no job on this planet that would make up for something happening to your child in that McDonald's. It's that simple. Salute to the good sister, Tony Rivera. Drop on a clues bomb for Tony Rivera. You know, she's always out here providing, human trafficking awareness. And she told me it's so much trafficking going on in Atlanta and the Georgia area. She said black kids are going for a high rate right now. She said 75 grand and up. Okay. And you just going to leave your 3 beautiful black babies, 10, 6, and 1, to fend for themselves in a fast food restaurant for an hour and a half. Times may be hard, but they're going to be even harder if, God forbid, something tragic had happened to those kids. Now, y'all called up to this radio station. Y'all was all in the comments telling me I forgot where I came from, as if I ever came from a place where my parents was leaving me unattended at a fast food restaurant. I see people starting GoFundMe's for the young man. Antonio Brown, as of this morning, has raised almost 80,000 grand for him. Okay, the post on the GoFundMe says, story caught me by surprise. A dad just trying to find a way to make money for his family. I know he shouldn't just leave his kids, but some people don't have the means for babysitting, etc. This GoFundMe is set in place to help this man. I have spoken with GoFundMe, and they will get the funds to Chris and his family. I haven't spoken to Chris yet, but I hope to do so soon. You haven't spoken to Chris, but you're organizing to raise money for him? Why? You don't want to vet the brother and make sure the story is what he says it is? Because to me, and I said this yesterday, the story wasn't adding up. I wasn't trying to cast doubt on the brother's story, even though his story sounded like it had bacterial vaginosis. Okay? Yes.
Vaginosis.
Well, whatever. It just sounded fishy. Okay? I was just pointing out the fact that our job interview shouldn't come before the safety of your kids. Okay? A man's job is to protect and provide, and protect comes before provision for a reason. To me, when I heard the story, it didn't make sense. These kids were left alone for an hour and a half. What job interview lasts that long? And witnesses said they kept seeing Chris walk back and forth. What job interview lets you just keep walking back and forth? Oh, Charlamagne, you don't have no empathy. Charlamagne, you're speaking from a place of privilege. No, I'm speaking from a place of common sense. And common sense ain't that common in this modern era. So today we have an update from the same outlet that I got the story from, the Augusta Press. The Richmond County authorities released a full report Wednesday with more details, and based on the video evidence and the timeline provided by all parties involved, it was determined that Chris Lewis was not engaged in a job interview or application process during the time the children were left unattended. He was not really looking for a job while the children were at McDonald's. Can I give you some details from the police report and the noted inconsistencies Captain Danny Whitehead noted in regards to the whereabouts of Chris while his children were left unattended? Okay, let's start with the 10-year-old. You know the kid's gonna tell it, okay? She told officers that her siblings and her father walked to McDonald's from the Hendricks apartment complex. She said her daddy told her he had to deliver a backpack to the apartment complex and told her he would return shortly. The child also mentioned that her father, Chris, frequently leaves them alone. 2 witnesses said they recalled hearing Chris on the phone with someone, and he was overheard saying he needed to drop something off. The witnesses stated that after this, the father left McDonald's, leaving the children behind for approximately an hour and a half. The 10-year-old daughter contacted her mother on social media at approximately 6 p.m. The mother arrived at McDonald's at 6:12 p.m. She advised that Chris was supposed to deliver a backpack to her mother at the Hendricks Apartments and had been told that he must take the children with him. The kid's mother immediately called Chris, who answered and stated that he was on the way back to McDonald's from the apartment complex. Chris arrived at 6:18 p.m., still in possession of the backpack, and he told his child's mother that he had been trying to find her to give her the backpack, and the children's mother reminded him that he was not supposed to leave the children unattended. Don't go refunding your money from GoFundMe now. Listen to the rest. Now, Chris claimed he left the kids at McDonald's because he went to fill out a job application at the West Bank Inn, which is located adjacent to the McDonald's. And he was waiting for a call back for a possible interview. He said he left to drop the backpack off at the apartment complex, but during the time, he lost his ID. And he lost another card. And he had been retracing his steps trying to find them. Oh, you can feel the niggatry in this story rising. So Captain Whitehead went to the West Bank Inn to verify Chris's story. He spoke to the manager, and she confirmed that Chris did come in on March 22nd. And he did complete a job application. She also conducted an informal interview with him on that date. When asked if Chris would be expecting a call back for a formal interview, she said no. The manager provided video surveillance footage of when Chris was there. Guess what the times were?
What were the times?
1:12 p.m. to 1:37 p.m. The kids were left unattended at McDonald's from 4:30 p.m. to 6:12 p.m. So as I said before, based on the video evidence and the timeline provided by all parties involved, Chris was not engaged in a job interview when he left the kids at McDonald's. Furthermore, by his own admission, he was walking between McDonald's and the apartment complex, during that period, and the distance between the two locations is 0.4 miles. Now, don't let any of that distract you from the fact that regardless of what Chris was doing during this time, you don't jeopardize your child's safety in the pursuit of employment or anything else. Because there is no job or anything else you could be doing that would make up for something happening to your child when you leave them unattended for an hour and a half in a public place. I'm just doubling down on Donkey today. You can discuss amongst yourselves. Please let Remy Ma give Chris Lewis the biggest hee-haw.
Hee-haw, hee-haw. You stupid motherfucker. You dumb.
Thoughts?
I knew it. I knew it. And everybody was up here, no, I don't think the brother should get, he should lock him up, slap him on the wrist, and let him go because he was trying to do something. He was out here serving scrambled coke and smack.
Damn.
You walking back and forth and all of that. How you turn McDonald's into a daycare? Like, what's wrong with you?
See, you can't change the goalpost. Charlamagne moved the goalpost, and you can't change it either. See, Charlamagne reported exactly what happened, and that's what we made a decision based off what he said.
Okay.
Now, if Charlamagne didn't give the right information a couple of days ago, because a couple of days ago, Charlamagne said this man was doing a job again, going for a job application. Did he or did he not say that a couple of days ago?
He did. No.
So now he's changing it. We did this based on what you said.
First of all, you're not going to distract me. You're not going to distract me. What did I just finish saying? Because Envy don't listen. I said don't let any of that distract you from the fact that regardless of what Chris was doing during this time, you don't jeopardize your child's safety in the pursuit of employment or anything else. I gave him Donkey of the Day for leaving the kids unattended at a McDonald's for an hour and a half. I don't give a damn what he was doing during that hour and a half.
Agreed.
I didn't move no goalpost.
I said I agree. He should get Donkey of the Day, but if he was actually going to a job interview and was not doing no F-ish, I didn't think he should have been arrested.
It don't matter what he was doing. You don't leave your children unattended.
And I said I agree.
As the child's mom said. The child's mom said, you don't leave your kids unattended for an hour and a half in a public place.
And I said I agree.
That's why I gave him Donkey
I
of the
just
Day.
didn't feel he should have got arrested if he was really getting a job.
You should just hold yourself
interview.
accountable for not reading niggatry the right way.
And then also,
you gave me the niggatry.
No, I didn't.
And also, I smelled the niggatry a long time ago.
You did, because you said your baby daddy would do something like that.
I never said that in my life. Never, ever, ever. Now, Rome would leave the kids with a random girl that he done known for 3 days, but he's not going to leave his kids in a public place, and let alone a McDonald's.
By the way, that's crazy, too. Leaving the kids alone with a random girl for 3 days is crazy.
Absolutely. But it beats leaving them in a fast food restaurant.
It's about the same.
It is kind of
the
same.
It's
crazy.
I think McDonald's might be. McDonald's might be worse because at least you got somebody watching the kid. You don't know what the person might do to the kids.
That's right.
But at least somebody's watching them.
And
just leaving them unattended at McDonald's for an hour and a half. That's crazy.
It's crazy. And the little 10-year-old baby girl, she said, "My dad do this all the time." Like I already knew what that was. She getting tired of being a parent at McDonald's.
All right. Well,
once again, you don't jeopardize your child's safety in the pursuit of employment or anything else. There is no reason to leave your 10-year-old, 6-year-old, and 1-year-old unattended at a damn McDonald's for an hour and a half.
Up next, Jess Fix My Mess. 800-585-1051. If you have relationship issue, relationship problems, or anything like that, call Jess up right now. She'll fix your mess. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
X about me.
Relationship problems?
X about me.
You need to beat your coworker's ass.
X about me.
Your coworker need to beat your ass? Call it up. It's Dr. Jess, and I'm here to fix your mess. Fix your mess. It's getting very much messy. Let me fix it.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. It's time for Jess Fix My Mess. Hello, who's this?
Hi, yes, this is Alyssa, calling from Jersey.
What's up, Alyssa from Jersey? What's your question for Jess?
Okay, so my daughter's father, me and him became kind of like best friends. Like, he became more like an older brother to me than more like a baby father. Like, I mean, like, even open, he basically has an open invitation to all of my family functions. Like, he don't even have to be invited. Like, he know he can show up, no problem, whatever. So me and him, we used to sit or talk on the phone all the time. Like, I would tell him what's going on in my life. He would tell me what's going on with his life. I have 3 other kids that's not his. I would talk, about my kids, about like nothing. So one day I'm going through my daughter's phone because she's a teenager. I periodically check my kid's phone.
That's right.
And I see messages from, he has a whole girlfriend that I knew nothing about. And I see messages from this girl texting my daughter saying how much she missed her and how much she loved my daughter. So at that point, like, I feel disrespected because I'm like, I thought we was like cool, I thought we was friends. Like, I thought we had a good co-parent relationship. Like, so why is it that we could sit on the phone and talk for hours, but you didn't feel comfortable enough to tell me that, you know what I'm saying, you had a female. And not only that, like, you was leaving my daughter around her. Now, I'm not mad about that because my daughter she's a teenager. She can open her mouth and she can say whatever she want to say. But as her mom, I feel like I deserve the right to know where my kid going to be at when she's not in my presence, especially since he lives 8 hours away from me.
Okay. I totally understand. All right. Now, you said a mouthful, and I'm going to just tackle this part because I can sympathize with you with that because me and my son's dad are the same way. We call each other brother and sister. We're cool. He's invited to all of my family functions as I'm invited to his. I treat his kids with the same respect I treat my kids with. Like, we all intermingle. Everything is cool, right? Now, now if Rome didn't tell me that he had a girlfriend, I would not be that upset because I understand what you're saying. You feel more so betrayed by your friend that he didn't come to you with this information because y'all talk about everything else. You feel like, why the hell you couldn't tell me that she was in a relationship? What's up? But you shouldn't be that angry about it. And listen, are there any feelings there for him or be honest, like, is there any chance that y'all reconcile enough to be back together? Do you have that? You still got a little crush on your baby date? I'm not talking about like you like him in the slightest way. Like, is there anything there?
So this is what I will say.
Yeah.
We were together in a whole other state, and when we broke up, I just packed up and left, and I came back home. So I feel like there's a lot of things in our relationship that didn't actually get closer.
And you never got that closure because you just up and left. Y'all
right,
never
we never,
about,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, y'all never talked about anything. You never, okay. So yes, there is still some type of feelings there, and now you kind of resent him a little bit because now he has this girlfriend and things, and you feel like, we didn't really even fully close our chapter, and that's probably honestly why he didn't tell you about her, because he feel the same way you feel, right?
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta still like kind of understand his point of view too. Like, I don't want to ruin me and my baby mama's relationship. We were great, although we didn't end like the greatest. We didn't give we didn't give each other any clarification on like what we were doing, the end all be all of it. We never like fully said goodbye the right way or whatever. He probably feel the same way you feel, but he's 8 hours away. What do you expect for him to do? And I know you got a little something going on with somebody else too.
Right.
Yeah.
So
don't be upset. It's just a conversation.
No. I'm just saying I would have never disrespected him and given some man Link's daughter's phone number without him even knowing that this guy existed, because you basically gave this woman like full access to my child even when she's not down there with y'all. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. How old is your daughter?
She's 13 now.
Okay. And so she didn't tell you about the lady either. You just had to go through the phone and find out.
Yeah, I happen to be going through her phone.
Yeah. I feel like it's a conversation. I feel like both of y'all still have unresolved issues and unresolved feelings. And y'all just need to meet. This ain't no phone conversation. Y'all need to see each other. And you need to tell him exactly how you feel. And I guarantee you that's going to open the door for him to tell you exactly how he feels. And I guarantee y'all probably feel the same way.
Okay.
Yeah. But let me know. Call back up next Thursday. Do it before next Thursday so I can know.
Okay, I will.
All right, girl. Thank you.
All righty, mama. All right. Jess Fix My Mess. 800-585-1051. Call us up right now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Me. Tell baby. It's the real deal. Help me. Help me.
Oh my God. I'm all up in your mess. I'ma fix it. Fix it.
Fix my mess.
Fix it. Fix it. Just gonna fix your mess because my advice is real.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. We're in the middle of Jess Fix My Mess. We got Bob on the line. Bob, what's up?
Hey, I'm just keeping it real. Bob is not. That's just an alien.
We know Bob is not your name, bro. We know that.
I know. Hey, but look. I'm gonna face it real because Charlamagne a real dude, and Charlamagne probably gonna come down on my shit. So look,
no cursing.
I go by Stretch. Well, my childhood friend probably gonna hear this, but yes, I got a question because I feel some type of way, and I feel like I should definitely have a conversation with my friend on this. But so we have a mentor or somebody who's been in our lives for like at least 10, 15 years, like, you know what I'm saying, kind of have been helping us out with advice and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And there's four of us that all grew up, you know what I'm saying, kind of under his mentorship.
Yeah.
I'm the youngest out of the four. The oldest person is who I have a question about because I want to talk to him about this. Like, I want to approach him about it because I feel like what he did was wrong.
Okay.
So he basically texted our mentor's wife and was like, "Hey, your friends are some HOEs."
Wow.
And I feel like that's kind of out of pocket because, like, the dude, you know what I'm saying, no matter what we've all been through, dude ain't never looked at us different. He's always helped us out with our families. Like, it's like kind of like, to me, it's like disrespecting your elders. And like the fact that you even text the dude and was like, "Hey, your wife mad at you yet?" Like, to me, it's out of pocket because I feel like if either one of us would have texted your wife that, you'd get upset and you want to fight it. And
right.
You know him out of all people, he's not going to necessarily physically do anything to you. He may not talk to you for a minute.
Yeah.
He may pray for you. You know what I'm saying? He's probably going to start praying for you more, but there's nothing else he's going to do, and you know that. And I just feel like, bro, that's foul, man. Like, come on,
So wait. Okay, let's back it up. So one of your friends texted y'all's mentor and told him that his wife, or texted the mentor's wife.
He texted the mentor's wife and said, "Hey, your friends are some HOE."
How did he get the mentor's wife's number?
Like I said, they've been married for at least 10 years. We've all known them for at least 15.
Okay.
So we're all we're like family. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I guess y'all were hanging around her friends, and they showed
No. We've never hung around their friends. It ain't never like that. We've always hung around him. We don't. This is why I would have texted her that, because we don't hang around her. We don't hang around her friends. You know, like, we're all grown and adults now. We don't hang around them like that anymore. We're not kids.
Right. I don't understand why the text even went to the wife. I'm just not understanding. Yeah. So your question to me is, like, what you should do about this, or what? Because
like, I really want to confront him. Like, bro, like, why in the hell would you even do that? So I'm like, because if somebody would have did that to your wife, I'm not gonna lie. If I'm not married, you know what I'm saying? But if I was married, or if you would have texted that to the person I'm with about her friends, like, yeah, bro, we gonna have words, man. Like,
yeah.
So,
but look, you ever think about this though? And it's wrong. It is definitely wrong. And since you can't figure out exactly why he would text her that when y'all ain't hanging around his friends, when y'all haven't hung around his wife's friends, either he's just lying, he's a delusional ass dude, or he knows something that y'all don't know, because he actually did get to hang around the friends. No.
See, look, this is the thing. We're in two different age groups. They're in their like 50s. We're all in our 30s, so we don't hang around. You know what I'm saying?
Your friend might be doing some hanging without y'all, yo. He might like the old chicks, man, and they might get down with the get down, and he wanted his.
I just feel like when
especially
it comes
if they hoeing.
Like, no, it ain't. Look, all right. So I give y'all. I hate to bring race into this, okay?
Okay.
But even more the dynamic. They're a white couple. We're all black.
Oh, okay. So that so you saying
they're biblically Christian faith. Like, they go to church every Sunday. Like, they are like the ideal, like, you know what I'm saying, what the other side would view as a couple, successful couple. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm like, bro, no, like, It just doesn't make sense. And like you text our mentor and like, hey, your wife mad at you yet? Like, bro, what?
Oh, so yeah, he texts the wife and then texts the mentor. Yeah, so yeah, you
Yeah,
just
so I
pull
feel
up
like
on your
as a-
homie. Talk to your homie. Just
I
talk
feel like,
to him.
you know what I'm saying, if we all holding each other accountable, because like I ain't lie, I've done some messed up stuff and they've all held me accountable for it.
Yeah,
So I just feel like
definitely.
this should be like us holding you accountable. Like, bro, that's foul. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, if you would have done that, bro, I can't say with everything on the radio, but yeah, we definitely had word.
Yeah, no, for sure. Okay, so no, that's just, if that's what it is, I think you should hit your homie. Y'all all grew up together. You should be able to have that conversation with him and figure out exactly what happened. And I bet you better call back next Thursday, because I bet you he's going to tell you something that you didn't even know. I'm telling you. Then you told me they was white and they go to
I
church
won't be
and all that.
surprised if he probably listening and call in and y'all stepping probably tell y'all.
You know what I'm saying? Listen, call back next Thursday. I bet you he's going to tell you some things that he did that you did not know and that y'all wouldn't even expect from them white church people. I bet you.
Hey, say no more. I got you. I'll keep you posted.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
What's wrong with the mentor's wife being hoes, though?
That's what I'm saying. No, the mentor's wife's friends.
Yeah, what's wrong with the mentor's wife friends being hoes?
I don't know why that's so hard to believe that he probably cracked one of them. And they, you know what I mean? And he texted the wife like, yo, your friend's hoes. You know what I mean?
But a bunch of white 50-something-year-old hoes, man. Y'all supposed to be slinging big pee-pee and getting paid. Them Karens and Becky's cut a check.
Damn right. The one thing an old white woman gonna love is a young black man.
That's
So
what
I'm
I'm
like,
saying.
look,
I think it's
your
a young black
homie ain't-
penis.
Yeah. It's a young black penis. And I don't think
That's like a
it's
fantasy type thing, right?
his homeboy. Yeah, it's like a whole fetish. Like what?
Dr. Umar wouldn't approve, but shoot, you know. These
Right. And this dude do not believe that. Like he's underestimating his homeboy.
Now, I do think it's corny for the dude to text that to the
text
wife.
that to the wife.
Blowing up the spot.
And then gonna text the mentor like, is your wife mad at you? Like, yo, you obviously ain't never had no white poom poom ever. Like,
And you ain't getting paid for it.
Probably not.
Dudes always asking where the hoes at. They with your mentor's wife.
Jess Fix My Mess. 800-585-1051. We got the latest with Loren coming up. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Let's get to the latest with Loren.
Jeez, Loren be coming with straight facts.
She gets them from somebody that knows somebody.
She gets the details.
I'm the homegirl that knows a little bit about everything.
She be having the latest on you.
The latest with Lauren LaRosa.
Sometimes she have facts, sometimes she have details, sometimes she have a little bit of everything.
Well, it's the latest.
On the Breakfast Club.
Talk to me.
So we want to take some time to send a congratulations to USC sophomore guard Juju Watkins.
Juju.
Yes, so she was named the winner of the 2025 Naismith Women's College Basketball Player of the Year award.
Well deserved.
Yesterday, yes, for sure. And I think with the past couple months, or like it's been a lot with her and her injury and her season ending.
The last couple of weeks.
Yeah, dang.
Yeah, it really hurt
It's
to
only
see
been-
Juju go down because they would have definitely, in my humble opinion, been in the Final Four. I think they would have
so too.
beat UConn and they'd be in the Final Four right now.
Yeah. Well, although that happened, this is historic because she is now the first USC player to win the Women's College Player of the Year award since the legendary Lisa Leslie in 1994. So, it's unfortunate, that her season ended the way it did, but I'm sure she's really excited about this because she posted it and said she is so grateful. So, congratulations to her.
Congrats.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
And in other news, Friday, the movie. I know that I think it was Mike Epps. He was up here and he talked about it happening. But now Variety just announced that Ice Cube has closed a deal for this to happen. Not just announced, but Variety announced that Ice Cube has closed a deal for Friday to happen at Warner Brothers and New Line. So he's reached a deal to write and star in the new Friday movie for Warner Brothers and New Line Cinema. The new feature, which is titled Last Friday, will mark the fourth entry in the comedy series and then the first in over 20 years, following up after Friday After Next from 2002. So Ice Cube has been, open about his plans to make another Friday movie, though his agreement with Warner to star and direct marks a significant development in the project. So congratulations, Ice Cube, and it's happening.
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, that's what Mike Epps said when he was here. I think he said Cube had just did the
That's
deal.
what's up.
I don't remember the third Friday though. Do y'all? I don't
Hell
remember.
yeah, I remember
That's
the
Ricky
third
Smiley
Friday.
played the
Santa
Santa
Claus.
Claus.
Cat
yes,
Williams.
the
Okay,
holiday
okay.
one. Yeah.
You just need a little storyline reminder, and you'll
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's because the first and second one is like, the first one is untouchable. The second one was cool, and the third one is always like, oh, okay, nice.
The third one could have been a TV show.
Could have been.
Yeah, it didn't have to be a movie.
Yeah.
How many episodes of that TV show have been?
Like 2.
Yeah, maybe 2. Maybe 4. 30 minutes apiece.
Okay.
No, 3.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
But it didn't seem like a continuation of Friday. Because if you watch the first one,
yeah,
it was
and
a
the third
continuation,
one,
Mhm.
it's like, damn, yeah.
Got you.
Okay.
Well, I'm just happy to see it was happening because I know
Me
for a while
too.
he was complaining that he couldn't get the support from like the studios and stuff
If
that he
this is
needed.
the last one, Chris Tucker gotta be.
Got to.
Yes. He gotta be.
Yes.
You gotta have all the worlds combined. And Chris
Ooh.
Tucker, the day, but then everybody's so like John Witherspoon no
He
longer
passed.
here.
I know.
Steve-O no
Debo
longer
passed.
here.
Yeah.
Bernie Mac no longer
Yeah, Bernie
here.
Mac
I know.
passed.
Even though Bernie Mac, he was the preacher though, like his part was real quick. They could still make it without like some of the acts, but I feel like some of the acts they need, like Debo,
John Witherspoon,
like John
Debo,
Witherspoon.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
you need
pops.
those.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
What happened to his family? We ain't even see his family the last two movies. We ain't see Craig's mama, Craig's sister.
Yeah,
What happened
and
to Nia
Regina
Long?
King is the sister. Yep, Nia Long is the. Yeah, he can still make it work.
Is Felicia still smoking crack? Is Miss
Hell
Parker
no,
still fine?
she look good.
Wait, is Craig's mom still alive? Did she
Craig's
pass?
mom. D. Oh, D? Yeah, she's still alive. She around here somewhere.
Jess, they need you for this movie. You tapped in, okay? Like they need you to
I
figure it
am.
out.
I'm telling you, that woman is 72 years old. That's Jess Hilarious is really 72.
D around here somewhere. Whatever. That's all we got, Lo.
Yeah, that's all we got.
All right, cool. So look, scenario, right? So no, I always give you two men to choose from, but I want to know what you would do in this situation.
You
if
still
this
trying to
did
find
happen.
her man?
Absolutely.
I told her
And we
about the
gonna get
thing
it
you
done.
called me about
I thought we
yesterday
got
too. We're
past
gonna
this.
talk about it.
No,
I thought we got past
we're not
this.
passing it until she lands a man.
Okay.
We're not gonna be past it. Okay.
Now you don't want me to be happy first. It's like, she ain't
No,
got
I
nothing.
kind of want you to be here a little bit, but Jess clearly still doesn't. But continue.
Hey, yo, I want you to be here. Don't do that. Stupid.
Oh my God.
Listen, all right, cool. I ain't gonna be the one reporting, so you gotta be here. So listen. All right, you're dating this guy for 6 months. Y'all 6 months in. He moved you in. Of course, he wooed you and everything. You met his family and all. He's successful. Now, y'all are out one night, right? And on your way out of the restaurant, a bisexual guy comes up to your man and he says, "Oh, this what we doing now." Listen, and walks away. That's all he said. And your man didn't really give a response. He just kind of brushed it off like, oh, whatever. Come on. He grabbed your hand and y'all get in the car. First thing you do is immediately ask, what the hell was that about? And he tells you that guy from years ago was his assistant. He was once his assistant and he didn't like how he was terminated once the company went under. And he's just upset. And that's the first time he's seen him in years. What do? Do you believe that? Do you do more digging or do you just automatically throw him in the boat with the guy?
He's in the boat and I'm definitely going to dig. First of all, I'm not walking out the restaurant. We're U-turning. Now we got to have a conference call. This is a press conference now. I need to understand what you mean.
Okay, so what would you have said to the guy? Because you're Loren LaRosa and one thing you do is reach out. So the thing is,
reach out and touch.
You're going to reach out to the guy.
Let's hold hands and agree that I need to have a real conversation of what did you mean by that? What do you mean this is what we're doing now? What was y'all relationship? What was I'm confused because it's giving me that y'all used to deal with each other and I didn't know that was a past thing if so.
But the guy, his disposition, your man is like,
this is great.
Like, look, go. I ain't even got time for this. He grabbed your hand and the guy switches off like, okay.
This is so sad.
I don't care what my man is giving because one thing they're going to do is downplay and one thing I'm going to do, get to the bottom of it.
Okay. And what if you got your man phone later and saw that he texted the gay guy? First of all, she's trans.
Is that about her?
Yes.
Now I'm not even asking questions. I'm out. Like,
You out, right?
I can't date. I don't want to date a bisexual
the
man.
latest with Loren.
Oh my God.
This is sad.
First of all, she's trans. You know what?
Because she can't even get a man. You trying to just make up a fake man for her, and she can't even get that right.
Oh my God, that is so messed
I did
up.
nothing wrong.
This is a scenario that I'm creating.
Jess, before we go to break, you know what happened? Gia felt so bad. Gia was like, I think I found somebody for Jess. I found somebody for Loren, right?
Oh no.
And she's been getting calls all week.
It was a white guy, and Loren turned him down.
You turned down somebody white?
Yes.
Okay. I got you. So you want the melanated king.
But
okay.
Dr. Umar would be proud.
But now she's single again. All right. Well, the people's choice
I
mix is
did
up next.
ask though, like how much money he make.
Oh my goodness. The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Black queens forever, snow bunnies never.
You're checking out The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Now, we're asking you guys, if you call up here, a lot of people say they call and they can't get through. Well, we got an easy way for you to just get through to The Breakfast Club. Go to the iHeartRadio app. There's a little mic. You click the mic. It's a talkback feature. You can leave a 30-second comment for any of us. If you don't like the way Charlamagne looks, he's too short, he's bald-headed, whatever it may be.
If you think Envy look dirty. if you think
Charlamagne gay, whatever it is.
Envy look dirty.
Yo, shut up.
Barefoot and dirty.
Barefoot and dirty. But whatever it is, you can leave a 30-second voice memo or voice note on that, and we replay it on The Breakfast Club. Okay?
Yeah, it's the same thing we used when I did the We the People with Vice President Kamala Harris.
Correct.
Yes.
So definitely hit that up ASAP.
Because I know people be having comments and they be wanting to say stuff about interviews that they hear, and sometimes we don't have the phone lines.
Or the donkey.
Or donkey of the day. I just said something that offended everybody.
When
like
was that ever a thing?
All the time.
Well, no, not up here.
All the time. And speaking of Jess, you're going to be in North Carolina this weekend.
I will be in Raleigh, North Carolina this weekend.
The same weekend as J. Cole's Dreamville.
The same weekend. I envy, because the more you talk about it, they're going to be like, oh no, I ain't going to our show. I'm going to go see J. Cole for his last time.
Sorry.
But yes, we're going to be at the Improv tomorrow, Friday, and then Saturday we have 2 shows as well. And then Sunday I'm going to be at Dreamville Fest too. So
okay.
Get your tickets.
So get your tickets. And also salute to Elie Mystal, did I say it right?
Elie Mystal, he's got a great new book out called Bad Law, 10 Popular Laws That Are Ruining America. I mean, I enjoyed the book because, I've been wanting to know more about constitutional law. I don't think there's a better constitutional law scholar than Elie Mystal. I don't believe, his beliefs on biology. Okay.
He's one of your favorite people, yes.
No, I like
have
reading,
to love all of him.
I do like reading his stuff, but I don't like his views on biology. But on constitutional law, great.
All right. We'll definitely pick that up. It's called Bad Law. All
and
right?
Salute to Louis V, man. Louis V is here from our sister station, 96.1 The Beat in Atlanta, Georgia. He'll be providing the soundtrack at the Black Effect Podcast Festival, April 26th. Louis had a great idea. Louis said, should I say the idea on the air? Louis said we should get fans. Right? Black Effect fans, because if you've been to the Black Effect Podcast Festival, a line dance always breaks out. Right. They always end up doing the electric slide, cha-cha slide or something. Yeah. So we're going to have the boots on the ground.
Right.
Louis V from the Met, he's from the 803, so you're going to have the boots on the ground at the Black Effect Podcast Festival.
Yeah.
So go get your tickets right now.
So bring your fans when you come out there.
Or we might have fans for you.
Or that make Black Effect fans.
Louis got the budget.
We got the budget.
We got the 96.1 The Beat got the budget. Wow. They got the budget, okay? So you might have it there, but blackeffect.com/podcast festival. Go get your tickets for the 3rd annual Black Effect Podcast Festival happening in Atlanta, April 26th at Pullman Yards.
All right. When we come back, we got the positive notice, The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. It's almost time to get up out of here. And like we said, Louis V is here. Also, Joe Strada from our Atlanta station. I'm going to be in Atlanta, I think, next week. I got to do a bunch of podcasts, so set me up with Ferrari and all them to promote the book. Me and the wife will be heading out there. We going out our book tour.
All right. When you go to Atlanta, huh?
Boy. First of all, yes, Atlanta is gay. Don't do all that.
Okay, I'm
last year, when you was down there for that cheerleading convention, my homeboy was like, why Charlamagne trying to act like he wasn't looking at me? And I was like, yeah.
Oh, that is true. I was not looking at him.
Were you looking at him? You were looking at him? He was thick.
I don't even know who she talking about, but I do remember that story, though.
He was there, and he was like, he tried to act like he was there with some woman. I was like, that's his wife. He was like, he got a wife, and he was looking at me like that. Yeah.
They want me to be betrayed so bad.
Okay, vocabulary. Yes.
Jesus. We'll leave us on a positive note.
The positive note is this. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos to order, confusion to clarity. So be grateful for something today, okay? Have a great day.
Breakfast Club, bitches!
Y'all finished or y'all done?